Hi ladies, I wanted you to know I'm not dead. I've just been really sick. Like really sick. So, I wrote notes because there's a lot to go over. My morning sickness, as I said in my last video, when I was only like 6 weeks pregnant, was already ridiculous. Well, it's gotten more ridiculous. Like, it's terrible. Yeah, morning sickness is not fun at all. And so I was already dealing with that. And I just couldn't do anything. Like, going to work was terrible. Doing anything was just terrible. So then the doctor put me on medication. And the medication helps about 70% of the time. Then I ended up going home for Christmas because I live in Belgium, but I'm from California. Went to California. As soon as I got there, I got sick. I ended up with an upper respiratory infection. That sucked. So I was pretty much sick and had morning sickness the whole time I was there. I vomited at least every day. And yeah, it wasn't fun. I mean, I was glad to go home and see my family, but it wasn't as fun as I wanted it to be because I was dealing with vomiting and I got an upper respiratory infection. And I ended up having to go see a doctor while home, which I don't have health insurance in the US anymore because I don't live there. So I don't need health insurance there normally. I have a travel insurance. So I called the travel insurance company in Belgium, and then they pretty much were like, so go to the doctor and then, you know, tell us what's up and we'll pay for it. So I went to the doctor's office. I had to end up calling Kaiser because I used to be a member at Kaiser, and then they got me an appointment. Because I was pregnant, they sent me to Women's Health, which is just OBGYN, and they're fancy and call it Women's Health. So I went to see an OBGYN, and she was like, you have an upper respiratory infection because you're pregnant. Pretty much can't do anything about it, so can't really help you. Okay. She was like, you could take these over-the-counter things, and that's pretty much all you can take. So I was stuck taking Mucinex the whole time, and it only halfway helped because normally when I get an upper respiratory infection, I'm immediately put on antibiotics, and like it's good again. But they couldn't do that. So there was that. I did get to see the baby though because they did an ultrasound just to see if the baby was cool. So then I got to see the baby, which was cool, and it was looking awesome. So yeah, went home, came back, still dealing with the morning sickness when I came back, and fatigue, and it was just not fun. And morning sickness, fatigue, and jet lag don't go together. It was not a fun week. That first week was not really fun. So then my morning sickness got really terrible. It was like maybe my second week back to work, and I was vomiting one morning. I kept having to excuse myself from the kitchen and going to vomit, and it got bad that blood started to come up. So I immediately called my doctor right there at work, and he was like, where are you? And I was like, I'm at work. And he was like, well, come in right now. So I had to leave work. I went and picked up my husband, and we went to the doctor's office, and he was just like, because it was so bad, my like esophagus and stuff was irritated, and that's why blood came up. But other than that, like, babies should be fine. It was just, you know, I got irritated. So he upped the dose of the medication and put me on suppositories for nausea, and was pretty much like, go home, rest, don't go to work for a week. Here's a note for your employer, don't go to work for a week. So I ended up home for a week. Then yeah, I got really fatigued with the baby, and so I was like, oh. And then I went back to work, and the fatigue was really horrible. I was like, oh my god, I'm so exhausted. Like one morning my boss was like, how are you feeling today? Because she asked me every day. My boss has known I was pregnant since like we found out, because she's been really great about it. So I was like, I'm just really tired. And so she was like, yeah, that'll happen. And she was like, you know what, tomorrow, she was like, don't even worry about coming in. It's going to be an easy day, you know, just rest, which my boss is amazing. So I went home. I wasn't feeling so great. The next day, I woke up and I felt terrible. I ended up going to the doctor. I ended up with the flu. That's why I was so fatigued. Because a lot of the flu symptoms are just like pregnancy symptoms. Which my husband and I were just talking about going to get flu shots. And we were going to wait till my next doctor's appointment, you know, to ask the doctor about it and have the doctor prescribe it and everything to get a flu shot. I ended up with the flu. So I ended up high fever, chills, all of that. Everything that comes with having the flu while having morning sickness. But then because of the flu, I guess with my high fever and everything, the morning sickness stopped. It was weird. And so, yeah, I went to the doctor and he was like, you have to suffer through it. He was like, you're pregnant. There's nothing you can take. Just suffer, pretty much. And he was like, unless things start coming out strange colors or your fever gets pretty high. He was like, his number was 40 degrees, I mean 40. Oh, what was his number? Yeah, 40 degrees Celsius. Which is basically a fever of 104 Fahrenheit. He was like, if he gets that high, go to the hospital or come to me or whatever, and I'll get you on something. So I was able to take a light fever reducer, which is Dafalgan, which is basically Belgian's Tylenol. It's the same thing pretty much. I was able to take that, and then one day my fever, that wouldn't even break my fever. It was terrible. I had high fever all day. But my fever never got higher than 102. And yeah, then I felt better. My husband ended up with it. I ended up infecting him. So we were both home sick all weekend on the couch, miserable. Then we didn't have a car because I don't know if I talked about this in the video. I don't think I did. It was after I filmed my last video. I had a crazy pregnancy brain moment, and I was in my car. I was 6 weeks pregnant, and I blacked out. Like, I don't remember what happened or anything. I was in stop and go traffic on the way to work, which I'm in stop and go traffic every morning on the way to work, and I don't know what happened. I was in the car, I was not feeling good at all, and I thought about calling into work that morning, and then a few times while driving I thought about pulling over because I was really just not feeling good. I don't know what happened, and I ended up crashing my car into the person in front of me. So yeah, I crashed my car at 6 weeks pregnant. I had blacked out or something. I don't remember anything. I just remember the hit. But yeah, and then being like, even when I got out of my car, like being like, what happened? Like, I didn't know what happened. It was weird. So yeah, I crashed my car like 6 weeks pregnant. So they were finally able to get it fixed now, but then it took longer than it should have. And yeah, troubles. So yeah, so we had the flu and a rental car, but then we had to return the rental car, and we're just like here with the flu. And my husband managed to make it out of the house to the grocery store a couple times to get us like food and drink, because yeah, we couldn't do anything. It was terrible. So yeah, here I am today. That was last week. I am 14 weeks pregnant. I'm still pregnant. I'm alive. The morning sickness came back after the flu. So that didn't keep it away. Even though I'm in my second trimester now, I'm still having nausea issues, so I'm still on the medication. Yeah. I'm not taking the higher dose anymore. I'm back on my lower dose, only once a day instead of twice a day. If it gets really bad, then I'll do twice a day. Yeah, 14 weeks. I'm starting to feel things. I don't know how to describe it. I've been telling my husband, I'm like, I know I'm feeling the baby. Because, sorry, it's been weird. So the baby sits in my left side, because whenever they do an ultrasound, they always look in the right side. and then they don't see anything, and then they go over to the left and they're like, oh, okay, there it goes. So the baby's sitting in my left side. It's always been there since the beginning. And in my left side, I am starting to feel just these weird feelings that nothing else can make. In the beginning, I'm sure you would probably think it was like your intestines and stuff, but I'm at a point where I go, I know this is not my intestines. I've had some crazy feelings from my intestines, including one thing I didn't talk about in early pregnancy. Constipation in early pregnancy sucks. It's horrible. I was praying. I really literally caught myself being like, please, Lord, let me take a poop. It's terrible. Like, I knew you could get constipated, but not that constipated. Like, it was horrible. I was just like, I just want to take a poop. Like, it was miserable. And yeah, and there's nothing you could take really for that, because they're just like, yeah. So yeah, 14 weeks, still having morning sickness. I still can't tolerate sweets. Since the beginning, me and sweets, we don't get along, and sweets are my favorite. I love dessert. Dessert is my favorite part of the meal. I love chocolate and just everything, and I can't stand it right now. Just thinking about desserts, I just want to vomit, and it sucks. Like, my husband and I, at least a couple times a week, we'd get, like, you know, patisseries from the grocery store or from the bakery or something, and, you know, indulge in delicious things. And we haven't done that in forever because I can't indulge in delicious things right now. It's disgusting. So we are getting prepared for this human that I've been feeling, and I'm having that feeling now in my lower left side, and it's so weird. Like, it's really strange. I don't know how to describe it. It doesn't hurt, but it hurts. I don't know how to describe it. It's so weird. I've just been having like this weird, it's like something's prodding at me from the inside. I don't know. It's so strange. Yeah, so getting ready for baby. This is my master list. So it's obviously our first baby, and I'm like, what all? I was like, I want to know everything that we need. So I went online, I was on Pinterest, and just finding any blogs I could find about, you know, people's favorite buys from their first baby, or what items they were like, don't buy, and what items they were like, buy. And pretty much I came up with a list of everything that we need. So this is everything. It's like 4 pages long. It's all in little sections. Like, we have furniture, and then we have like feeding and clothing and travel gear. And then I say if we bought the item, if it's going to go on our registry, how much it costs, if the price is applicable, like if we bought it or something, just to kind of keep an idea on what we spend. So as you can see, stroller and car seat have been bought. We bought a really nice stroller and car seat that will it should last it until the child is about 3 years old. It's called the Chico iMove. I'll post the link below to like the site so you can see it. It's a really, really, really nice stroller. We spent over $1,000 on this stroller. But I think it's worth it. Yeah, it's a really nice stroller. Like, very nice. And it's a travel system, so it comes with the car seat and the base for the car seat, and, you know, all the pieces. So it comes with everything, so there should be nothing to worry about. And yeah, I'm very happy with the stroller. I bought a bassinet. I bought that on Cyber Monday, like really early pregnancy, but yeah, it was a really great deal. So I am happy I bought it. What else? I was on the hospital's website, and I found the beautiful list. Well, this isn't for, well, it's for our hospital. This says Edith Cravell, which is not the hospital we go to, but it's like we go to like their sister hospital. Well, one of their sister hospitals. And so it pretty much is like a list of everything you need to bring with you for delivery, and then for in the maternity ward. So your hospital bag. Sorry, I still have a cough left from this flu. Yeah, and there's a lot of things on here. So if your mother's if you're living in a foreign country, make sure you find out what you need at your hospital, because a lot of things that on blogs that they're like, oh yeah, you don't need to bring this because the hospital gives it to you. In the States, they give it to you. Here, I am surprised they don't. Like, it even tells you to bring your own mesh underwear, when everyone in the States is like, oh yeah, the hospital gives you so many pairs of those mesh panties. Well, they don't in Belgium, apparently. So I found a website to buy them online, and I'm going to stock up on mesh panties. So things like that. Even for the clothes for the baby, like in the States, unless you want to dress the baby, pretty much the baby's in a diaper and swaddled. And so you don't really need clothes. But yeah, they're like, bring 6 to 10 onesies, 6 to 10 pairs of socks. Like, I'm really glad I printed this out. So, what's next? Doctor's appointment next Friday. Hoping to maybe get an idea of the gender, because my doctor does do an ultrasound at every appointment. So, gender we want to know. And yeah. Oh, we got accepted to a daycare, it looks like. In Belgium, finding daycare is ridiculous. Like, in some cities, the moment you decide you even want to have a child, you better put yourself on a list for daycare, because you won't have a spot. One place told us they wouldn't have a spot until 2015, and we're just like, what? The baby isn't even here yet. I'm only 14 weeks, and you won't have a place for my baby until 2015. So, yeah, but there's a place on the main road in the next town over, and they have a room. And so I did like a creepy drive-by the other day. After my doctor's appointment next week, we actually have a appointment to go visit the place. But I was being a creeper, and so I like pulled up front, and I'm like looking inside. I'm like, what does it look like? And then, but then there was like a guy like right inside the door, and I was like, okay, creeper moment's over. I don't want them to be like, who the hell is looking in here? Some creeper. So yeah, I didn't creep for too long. I don't know, just like everything in Belgium, it looks ghetto from the outside, but then you get inside and you're like, oh wow, this is amazing. So we'll see. The outside looks a little ghetto. So my husband and I are like, so either it's going to be like, oh yeah, this place is cool, huh? Because we're so lucky they had room, or we're gonna get there and be like, no wonder they had room. So we are going to find this out next week. I think that's pretty much everything. So I have a doctor's appointment next week. Yeah, I'll be 15 weeks one day at my appointment. I'm really excited to make it to the halfway mark at 20 weeks. I was like, I think when I get to 20 weeks, I'm gonna be like, yes! So, yeah. That's everything. This video is long, but there was a lot to say, and you know, I try and make the video shorter. I want to start not daily vlogging, because I'm terrible at that. But at least once or twice a week, putting out a vlog as we get ready for baby, and then when baby's here and all of that stuff. It won't be on this channel. It will be on my other channel. I will post a link below to my other channel. It's formerly known as American Chocolate in Belgium. It is now called Nene and Baby. And yes, I'm going to try and do vlogs on that channel, as long as I remember to take stuff off of my camera. So we are doing a gender reveal party. So yeah, like you'll get to see like the gender reveal party, and tomorrow hopefully we'll go into the cupcake shop where we're gonna order our cupcakes for the gender reveal party, because we're gonna go taste some cupcakes. And yeah, I want to take you guys along with all this fun stuff, and hopefully I'm not too terribly sick. I pray the morning sickness goes away. But it's so funny, because then there's so many girls who are like, I don't feel pregnant at all. And then they're like so worried. You're like, I don't feel pregnant, something's wrong. And then I'm just like, well, can we switch places for a minute? Because I feel too pregnant. Also, start putting your guesses for gender. I am team girl. I've always been team girl, and I'm really convinced this is a girl. All this morning sickness, it's too much drama. This is just gonna be a drama queen all the way. I already know. This baby is a drama queen, so I'm team girl right now. So, we'll see. Alright, I'm really going for real this time because I don't feel like editing this because that's just gonna take me a while. So, bye.